Hey there, Vok here from the Aetheric Forge here again. I'm going to continue on from my last video where I just talked about disaster recovery and go into one of the infrastructure automation projects we're doing here at Aetheric Forge. I'm going to use my own cluster as a demonstration. As I referred to last time in the last video, we're automating the entire infrastructure deployment. Now this is the disaster recovery side. From a CI/CD perspective as well, GitOps will do you a lot of good for integrating an infrastructure review process into your workflows. So let's go to the terminal here, or sorry, to the browser here for a second, and I'll show you what's currently running on it. So we're using ArgoCD as our continuous deployment slash GitOps program. What this does is it will connect to a GitHub repository here and then render the customized templates in a given path. I'll get into those in a later video and get into some technical details of how it all fits together. But if we click into one of these apps, you can see all of the Kubernetes resources that it owns. So it's pretty straightforward. It really owns everything that was installed after the base system was put there. So the ingress, the certificate, the TLS secrets, and cluster issuers. That's about it. If we click into the website one, you can see this is a very basic application. It has a namespace, a service, a deployment, and an ingress with a certificate. This is a pretty typical deployment. You'll have the deployment is going to be a container that you wrote, and then everything else is just kind of standard plumbing. All right, so I'm actually going to start by deleting the entire cluster because this is a DR exercise. I'm going to kill it gracefully because that leaves me fewer things to clean up. In a real world scenario, you might have to do things like clean up DNS. For now, I am just going to do this and let external DNS clean up for me. Oops, taped it correctly. Alright, so let's give that a minute to go away. Alright, so now that the app is gone, we can use our destroy script to just get rid of the rest of the platform. So we clean up the certificate that we issued, and now we just start removing, well, everything. Now this last little bit takes a couple minutes, so while this happens, I will just quickly go through the structure of the repo at least. Okay. Alright, so as you saw from the deployment there, we deploy ArgoCD from this GitOps directory. So this will bring in all of our overlays and then also our apps directory, which the only apps that go in the bootstrap is just that example app that you can use to verify that it came up and running. But yeah, we can go through, we could see that we have step CA, which is our internal root certificate authority. We have cert manager, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, as well as ingress nginx. External DNS might be new for some of you. This is a really handy one. If you annotate an ingress and tell external DNS, I want you to update DNS, it will go ahead and do that for you. And it'll clean up when you remove the ingress as well. So management of DNS is much easier here. And then yeah, we just for dev clusters we have metal LB so that we can run the cluster ingress directly on a bare metal network interface. So that's the platform. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'll get more into the exact details of each component later on. But hopefully, if we come back here, no, we're still running. Yeah, this one takes about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not going to pretend to know what Kubernetes is doing. All I know is that it will eventually reconcile with no more applications on it. All right. Oh, I think, yeah, there we go. So these Pulumi scripts here would, you can configure this to deploy to AWS as well. Those Pulumi scripts would actually bring up and bring down the VPC and EKS infrastructure for you as well. All right, so that is it, obviously, for the entire platform. I'm going to go one step further here and also oops, sorry, RM. Oh, right, we're going to uninstall K3S. And then just remove my Kubi config. And there we go. Starting from scratch. So we start by installing our cluster. If you're installing AWS, you do not need to install your own cluster. The create script will spin up the AWS for you. All right. And then we just copy the Kubi config from Rancher to our own directory. And we type CP first. And take ownership of it so that we can edit it. Okay, I just don't like this default name, so I'm going to give it a better one. All right, so there is our cluster up and reachable. Okay, and then we will deploy. And there we go, let there be infrastructure. Okay, so a couple more minutes there and the clusters should be running. It's just, oh, this race condition is still here. Okay, no worries. I have been trying to fix it. I've taken a couple attempts at it, but it won't go away. But anyway, the second attempt works. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's just quickly make sure everything is running properly. And I see running and completed. Good. Let's see if our ingresses came up. Yeah, just give it a moment to get the actual IP there. That doesn't normally take so long. There we go. All right, so there's the ingress up. Now let's see about the certificate. All right, so this one takes a couple minutes as well as step CA comes up. And then the external ones I've seen probably take about, 2 to 3 minutes. DNS gets really squirrely there. In fact, I'm probably just going to kick mine when I demonstrate deploying the app. All right, so that gives us our ArgoCD back. It's a new instance though, so the password has changed on me. So let me get the updated one. Okay, so we want data.password. And we want to base64 decode it. All right, there's our password. Let's switch back to here. Okay, so admin, new password, sign in. All right. So there is our app, all healthy and synced. All right, let's get something else on there. We'll deploy an app. So we'll go back down here. And then this would normally be done. This is in progress, so I still have a manual deployment procedure. It's just a quick customized build. That's what ArgoCD does as well. So customized build, deployment, and then Kubi control, apply it. All right, so that's going to bring up that application, and if we pop in here, we can actually watch it come up. This is going to show progressing until the certificate is finished, and this is what I was talking about earlier about needing to kick the DNS, because you'll see this web TLS has just come up. So I'm going to kick the DNS because I have no idea how long it would take otherwise. All right, so do that real quick. Ugh, I can't type my password now. Oh, there we go. All right, so that's about as fast as it's ever going to be. So we can verify that the internal one obviously came up because ArgoCD is working, but we could see if it got this one yet. This is us waiting for Cloudflare. I've done everything we can do on our side. Yeah, it's not showing up yet, so usually this one takes about 3 minutes or so. I'm not gonna sit here and wait around. You've seen that it signs the one. You can see it's created the request for the other, and you can see that generally it's working. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna do another video on the actual details of each of the components, how to configure them, what I'm doing differently than you, and what you might want to change. So thanks for watching. Look forward to talking to you again. See you soon. Bye-bye.